Hello everyone, Manthral here, and welcome back to a little bit of a similar setup as what I used to do. Uh, got the camera better position for you guys. So, this week has been the combat week, which is also part of the Shattered Worlds week. So, you can get double anima this the whole entire week, but the awesome thing about this is I'm trying to get the abilities. I already got the one, I got the ranged ability, so that's not too bad. Now I'm trying to get into the bladed dive ability. Now there's some things I was actually thinking about as I was doing this, especially when I got into smithing Elder Rune. And the biggest thing with that is the fact that, you know, I could be doing certain things to actually benefit myself in this dungeon thing more than I have been. So for starters, don't worry about luck items when it comes to this because these things do not drop items. And if they do, that is kind of something that is unbeknownst to me and possibly to a lot of you. So this is a perfect time. Like, I'm wearing Berserker ring right now, mostly because I don't have the Sears ring because I am using magic. I know my magic gear is kind of like, my armor at least is kind of crappy. It's hybrid armor, but nonetheless, it is armor. So, for one thing else, I'm also doing because I kind of wanted to test it out for you guys, and that is the spikes. But see, it seems to be that that only applies to melee kind of stuff because here I am, getting into the thick of it with the creatures. Because I wanted to be able to have it so if there's melee people around me that I would still be doing damage to them even if, I'm not directly attacking them, which could be extremely helpful when you think about it. But apparently that only works if you are using magic. Because there I took damage, but I don't think I'm taking... Yeah, I'm not... The spikes are not activating the way I was hoping for, at least. Just kind of trying to hope to find you guys a little bit of a extra window for damage capacity when doing something like this. Because who knows, extra damage is always good. But yeah, anyway, like, I could usually get about 10 mil per trip. It usually takes me a little bit, but, anima. The thing of it is, my gear, my armor is not the greatest. I'm still using the chaotic staff, which, again, it's not the greatest. I'd rather be using the Port's Wand and Orb, at least, to be able to get some heavy damage going. Maybe getting into the heavier areas. But, hey, at least I should be able to... I keep looking over here because for the past, week, my camera has been right here instead of right here. So, I apologize for that if I'm not looking at you guys, but, I keep changing setup stuff, so... But yeah, Shattered Worlds, it's not bad. The mutators aren't too bad. I always like starting out, and I probably should have started out with the Vampirism one, but I started out with Blood Money because I'm trying to maximize the amount of anima I can get, and it just seems like the better route versus everything else. Because double anima means it has double bleed effect when it comes to them bleeding anima, which is the whole reason why I'm here, is to collect anima. But as you can see, the minigame is still not bad. I know there's plenty of people out there who could do way better. But it really is heavily dependent upon the type of gear you use. If you're not using The top of line gear, you will only get so far. But the nice thing is, it is a safe death, so if you do die, it's not a big deal. It's just you'll collect your anima that you have build up, and have to go back in. And if you're somebody who doesn't have a lot of food items, you can actually select it. There's an option when you do this. You can actually select feed me, and it gives you Puro chicken, which heals for a decent amount, especially for free food. The other thing it does not give you that is free, well, the only thing it doesn't give you free is, energy from invention and using the perks, which obviously it makes sense. But that can have an impact on people, and I haven't gathered energy for a while, so I'm kind of running a little bit low compared to where I like to be, because I am actually at 185,000, and that is extremely low for me. Usually if I get into the 100,000 category, it's not too much longer before I'm going and gathering as much energy as possible. Let's get that guy. That's a lot of extra anima. Bam, that really boosted me. I like that. I mean, anything extra is great. Now, I know there is there is magic log sitting there. Some of you be like, well, I thought there is no drops. And there is no drops. It is from invention. It is the looting perk, which occasionally you can get a random drop just from doing whatever when it comes to combat. So it's not so much that these creatures drop something, it's just that I have an invention perk that enables them to have something mild drop. But is it really worth it? Yeah. The looting perk really isn't that great. I'm really not sure why I still keep using it. The scavenging perk, now that one is actually absolutely fantastic. Because the scavenging one can actually get you components, and those components can be really good. I mean, I've gotten Saren components, I've gotten Noxious components. It's pretty rare you get those levels, but it is possible. Yeah, anyway, I just wanted to show you guys a little bit of what's been going on, and show you a little bit of Shattered Worlds for those who either haven't visited or just are quite unsure about what to do. It's very simple, very cut and dry. You just kind of go through. I want to go through one more portal to select another mutator, because you can have. See, I don't understand why there's up to 10 mutators right here, because you can only get a total of 5. Because you only go 5 levels. It's not like you go 10 levels and then you're at the end. Unless there's something I don't know about yet, but yeah, you can only go 5. I don't know why, but my guy just seemed like he was standing there for a while. Unless there's just that many piled up in one spot. Alright, so I'm going to kill a little bit more creatures. The nice thing about this is all of the XP gained. That is actually probably my favorite part of this whole thing. It's just all the XP. And if you have it and you're able, try using your heals like this one, the Ice Asylum, or even if you have Enhanced Excalibur, that would be extremely helpful. Try to use the resources you have to heal without actually using up all your food. Now see, look at all that extra anima I'm collecting just because I selected the Blood Money perk, or mutator. And that's absolutely phenomenal. Yep, still no mutator. So I'll actually call it on this one because, like, I'll explain something that I'll call it an episode. But there's 3 different types of mutators you can get. You can get good ones, you can get indifferent, type ones, and then you can get the negative ones. The good ones are encased in green. So as you can see in the top left here, where the skull is, right up here, it actually has a green icon around it, and the title itself is in green, which means it's a good one. If it's blue, that means it could be good, it could be bad, it could help you, it could hurt you, or it could do kind of nothing or hurt you. One of those kind of things, but you just got to pay attention to what you're doing. And then there's the red ones, which can be really, really bad for you. For instance, if you have Bob following you around, that could be very bad because he's constantly draining different parts of your stats, like your run energy or your prayer or your summoning capability. It's constantly draining those kind of things, which kind of sucks. And the bigger ones, like that guy, you notice how I used the threshold right away on him. That is because they have special abilities that can actually deal a substantial amount of damage. So those are things that I actually did want to cover because, well, I'm sure you guys don't want to take a ton of damage. I don't want to take a ton of damage if I can actually control it. So kind of cut it when you can. Otherwise, as you can see, it's a very simple minigame, especially right now when it's a double anima week. I almost have 500k, and I'm going to keep going at this. I am not even using my Vampirism aura yet, which is a fantastic thing to use in here. Now, I could be using melee, and I'm probably going to try that next, just to see how well that works out, because that could be interesting, but it could be very, very bad. But either way, that'll actually do it for this video, so thank you guys so much for watching. Until next time, later guys.